Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you for joining us today for this webinar. We hope it's beneficial to everyone. This is Mark Brown from All Florida Title, and we're just going to go over some tips to help realtors with their practice and try to make things a lot more smooth. We'll start with the best darn Facebook posts for driving qualified leads. We'll also talk about where you can easily make flyers and graphics for social posts for free. We'll touch on how to save time by automating your appointment schedules. We'll then delve into my website and learn how you can get instant quotes that can help you save a deal and get everything done quicker. And then we'll show you where you can get your transaction moving on the fly. As I mentioned, Mark Brown, I'm the president of All Florida Title. I have over a decade of experience. I'm an attorney, so All Florida Title is an attorney-owned company, and we also have a law practice as well. I'm joined by Dean today from TitleTap. They're a partner of ours that helps us with our website and our marketing. He has 12 years of real estate experience, and he specializes in this online marketing for real estate. I'm going to let Dean take over to start us up.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Really appreciate that, and thank you everyone for joining. We're excited to be sharing some of these tips to help you close more deals in South Florida. So I'm going to kind of start with just an open-ended question and kind of ask yourselves, do you struggle with any of these things? So, simply finding out that there's just not enough hours in the day to get everything done that you want done. Maybe you've explored social media, you've tried a few things out, not really seeing a ton of ROI, and at this juncture, you're like, really, what's the point? Maybe you're trying to attract more buyers and sellers, and just having a slow go at that. And again, you're trying to do all these things all while running your business. Well, what we're going to talk about today are several tips that kind of help with some of those struggles and ultimately help you drive more sales. So the first tip we're going to share is all about scheduling meetings. And I know typically you run into this scenario quite often, especially with newer relationships. You're trying to schedule some time maybe to see that new buyer or that new seller and trying to link up with them maybe at the coffee shop or whatnot. And what we're going to explore is the use of what's known as AI, or artificial intelligence, which is simply technology's ability to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, right? So the scheduling process typically looks something like this. So, hey, Mark, you available Tuesday at 2?
Not at 2. How about 1?
Yeah, no, I've got a lunch meeting that won't be done in time. What about Thursday?
Sorry, I'm heading out of town on Thursday. What about next week?
Yeah, so you guys get the idea. You kind of run into this back and forth volleying to try to settle on a common ground for the meeting. I'd like to introduce you to Amy. So Amy is a AI personal assistant who actually schedules meetings for you, and you can kind of explore more details on Amy at that URL up top, x.ai. I know it's a little bit of a weird looking URL, but that's where you can find more information about Amy. And I think there's another avatar called Alex, so there's two, whether you want a female or male avatar. But basically what you have to do is just simply copy Amy on any emails going out that speak to trying to schedule an appointment. So you copy Amy, and then you're going to also give Amy access to your calendar, so she'll be able to recognize what slots you have open. You can even set your meeting preferences, so maybe certain weeks you only want to meet for 30 minutes at a shot. Maybe other weeks you're open to more of an hour. Maybe morning time's better, maybe the afternoon or evenings are better. But you can set all that up with Amy, and then she'll know what to go off of once sort of that meeting cadence gets going. What's even nicer is you can even identify meeting spots or conference numbers in your setup. So it'll have your favorite conference number or that coffee shop you always like to meet at, so you don't have to constantly rewrite that. It's there, and she knows what to pull from. So again, she'll send out those invites automatically after the back and forth has been sort of settled, and it kind of looks like this. You can do a one-on-one type coordination with her, and she can also manage multiple parties as well. So in this instance, to your left, we've got Brian trying to coordinate a meeting with a couple of people, and you can see there at the bottom, he after he speaks to Kyle, he actually says Amy can coordinate a quick call. Amy's copied in that, and you'll notice to your right, she then reaches out to Sarah and starts, working through the logistics of the availability that you provided. Very humanistic and extremely helpful in terms of time savings. I know we've used it a couple times, and it's astonishing the responses we get. People actually want to know, hey, your assistant's pretty awesome. Where did you find her? And it's like, she's not a person. It's technology, but it's really, really slick. So you want to use Amy if you tend to schedule lots of appointments. I used buyer appointments and seller appointments as an example, but it could be for anything. It could be for inspections. It could be for just meetups. Very, very helpful. Maybe you want to get more plugged into the cutting edge, or simply if you just want to impress your friends. Like I said, it's kind of neat after the fact when you disclose that Amy isn't a person. It blows people away. So I believe there is a paid version, and there's also a free version. So they let you try it out for a while. I think the free version just limits how many meetings you can have. But check it out, X.AI, worth your while for sure. Kind of rolling into the second tip, we're going to get into graphics made easy. And this is really important if you have a need to create graphics and you're kind of at a stick figure level skill set like myself, but also even if you have some graphic design background, you might find this interesting. And I'm sure many of you have come across a need for a designer, whether maybe starting out you're needing a logo. Perhaps you do a lot of flyers, maybe you do a lot of images on social media, and you're leaning on a graphic designer to do that. Well, there is a solution out there called Canva.com, which is in essence graphic design made easy, and it's super, super awesome. It's free. There are some paid elements to it, but I think Mark, you've even explored this a couple times, correct?
Yes, we've made a few of our flyers with Canva. It's really user-friendly, and I have no artistic ability at all, and I've been able to use it.
Yeah, it's incredible. That they still have it for free. So, I mean, it's you can do a lot with the free version, and we'll kind of get into that here in a second. So, this is what you're going to find once you've logged in to your free account. It's really simple, click, drag, drop, and type of technology. So, super intuitive. Literally, you can actually, on the left side of the screen where you see, search a million images, simply plug in what category you're after. Maybe it's houses, maybe it's pools, name it, and it'll automatically bring up royalty-free images and graphics that you can leverage. And they'll say free, as you see that they do there in this example. You can simply then grab them, drag them over to the canvas over to the right, and then from there you can start doing any kind of text overlay or color elements that you want to do, and then from that you just simply download, and it's that simple. There are premium images. I think they cost like $1, so it's almost call it sort of the Dollar General store of graphics, and so it's just a buck, and you can have those premium images. So they make it really easy to use, and it's not just for social media. Again, we talked about the different types of graphics that are on here. They've actually got pre-casted dimensions for things like business cards and flyers, different banners and things of that nature. So you can leverage it for a multimedia purpose, which is really, really helpful. So you definitely want to check out Canva, especially if you're not a graphic designer. If you're looking to just add more social graphics on the fly. If you have a need for flyers, I know there's a lot of folks that use this for customized open house collateral. Maybe you're doing some kind of a charity event. Maybe it's a seasonal thing. Here you can just move on the fly with this. And even if you are a graphic designer, you'll find this helpful. I mean, my partner in TitleTap has a graphic design background and leverages Canva all the time because there's a lot of built-in pieces that help him streamline his job. So even if you've got a little bit more of a graphic background, it could be really, really helpful. So Canva.com, check it out. Graphics made easy there. All right, so we're going to kind of push on to tip number 3, which is really, you certainly want to plug into this. If nothing else, this has got some just extreme benefit. Lots of golden nuggets here. So pay close attention to this. So we kind of coined this the best darn Facebook post, period. And we're going to kind of dive in as to why. So how many of you have seen an image like this from a colleague? In this example, this is a title company, but this could be, a realtor that has posted this just after they've either sold a home for a client or they've, closed on a house with their buyer. And it's the classic, keys in hand in front of the house. And they take that picture, and then what they will then do is post it to their own Facebook page, right? So the problem with this is it's not really a best practice because only your friends see it. So in other words, only folks that have liked your page are going to see that. And they may or may not know who the Jones family are. All they see is just another family that you've helped. There's no emotional connection there. So if we kind of take this concept and sort of turn it on its side, a different way to do this, which we would consider a best practice, is actually ask that you take the picture with your client's phone and have your client then tag you when they post that image on their social media. So what's awesome about this is now their friends and family will see that post. And just like when you get married or you have a new baby, friends and family tend to like and comment those milestones in your life. So because of that, it tends to stay on Facebook and trend for days. So again, you're going to get some awesome benefit out of this because A, you're going to get exposure to their network that you would normally never have. So that only happens when they share it on their end. And B, it's going to stay out there for a long time. So if anybody, a friend, a family member, is in the market to either buy or sell, and they see this warm referral, quasi great experience, and you're tagged, they're inclined organically just to click on your tag and learn more about you. So it's a great way to get warm referrals directly from the source. So we would definitely coin this a best practice. And this is just how it works. So this is an infographic of what we're talking about. So you have Joe Realtor, his client Elliot, just finished with a closing of purchasing a new home. He tags Joe in the post about him closing on his house, and now all his friends see it, they like, they comment and click. This is kind of what you want happening. So you want to practice this with a colleague. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. This is purely organic. All it costs you is the time to ask. So practice it with a colleague. Offer to take a photo with their phone, and then maybe you use Canva, for example, to create a little card or a flyer that has your social handles on it. As you hand back the phone to the client, hand them the card and say, hey, when you go to post this, please tag me, here's my handle. So this ultimately is way more effective because it is them posting it, and there's that warm connection they have with their own network. And ultimately, it's also more secure. We've seen a lot of cyber fraud, a lot of identity theft happening, a lot of hacking going on. So you kind of want to stay as far from that as you can. And so by them disclosing it on their own phone and them taking that action, it removes you from that vulnerability. So it's definitely a more secure way to share as well. And I think, Mark, you've practiced this a couple times.
Yes. Once I learned about this from you guys, I have tried it, and I definitely noticed a difference in new followers to my Facebook page and inquiries from other people, because it's not just people that I already know and already follow me. So it's definitely very beneficial to use this tactic.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's just a little bit of those results. So you could see here the engagement spike happened when that person shared that post, and that's the spike that you see here. And here's sort of a real-time example, and sort of we asked the question, if you're not doing this already, how many missed opportunities have gone by? This is a perfect example of where the realtor got tagged in this particular post that where a customer or client had posted this. And look what you see there. I mean, 386 reactions, 125 comments. So, every time someone reacts or comments, they're seeing your name, they're seeing your tag, and that is, the best marketing you could ever get, and it costs you absolutely zero. So, you definitely want to put this into practice. You want to use this kind of a post. If you currently use Facebook, if you're looking for more of a free and effective way to market on Facebook, and ultimately if you want less cyber fraud risk. So put it into practice. All it's going to cost you some time, and curious to see what your results are. Definitely report back to Mark if you try this out, and let him know how it goes for you. All right, so moving on, we're going to get into more practical utilities that All Florida Title Company has sort of invested in to help you succeed and to do more sales. So this is really exciting. They've got a great tool with instant net sheets and having the ability to perform the calculations right at your fingertips. We know many times, you're at the kitchen table, maybe it's late at night, maybe it's over a weekend, and you're looking to share a net sheet with a client. Maybe you're trying to win a listing, maybe you're working with a buyer and you're just trying to give them a ballpark of what the costs are going to be with that purchase. And ultimately, some of you may be still doing it manually, on an Excel spreadsheet. Maybe you just have a ballpark and it's not really professional. This would be a great tool for you to look, ultra professional and be able to get the numbers in less than 60 seconds. So we're going to really dive into what this looks like so that you can see it in action. When you go and download the app from the All Florida Title Company website, it's going to take you to a screen that looks very similar to what you are seeing now. So you've got basically 3 tabs: a seller tab, a buyer tab, and a save tab. And then what's nice about this is you have the ability to share it with your client either via email or print, and you can also order title down the road when you have a contract and save your work here. So I'm going to just punch through a quick example on the seller side. There is a buyer tab as well that has cash options and finance options. So if you're representing the other side, you can leverage that tab. But for example purposes, I'll just come in here and you can see very quickly, I'll pick an arbitrary closing date. We'll pick a sales price here very quickly. If you know the mortgage balance, great. If they give that to you. Last year's tax, we'll just put in some dummy data. Again, you don't have to go in and punch in all this information. If you don't have the time, if you're just looking for a quick hit, you can just put in the purchase price and set the closing date, and it'll do the rest for you. But if you want to look more complete with your client, it just takes a few minutes to punch in this information. I'm just going to make up some data here, hit calculate, and you'll see very quickly I was able to get those calculations. So it's done all my math. It's done my commissions. It's done my title insurance, the deed stamps, all that, and I've got a nice cash to seller here at the bottom, right? So from here, I can go up top. I can email or print this if I'm at home to take it to my meeting. It's very quick to use, very intuitive, and you look professional in doing it. One good feature with this too is it allows you to save your work. So if you get pulled away with a distraction, maybe there's a multi-offer situation, you can come in here and save your work, and we'll just say, John Smith, 950K, hit submit. That has now been saved very quickly. I can come back to my save files. There I am, 950, John Smith, hit view. All the data has now been saved there for you, so you don't have to worry about coming back and rekeying things. Maybe you get negotiated down to 940, as part of your negotiations back and forth. So now you're at 940. You can simply hit the update button, go to 950, change it to 940, hit submit. It has now done all the calculations for you at 940. So super simple to use. Fast forward, you have a contract and you're ready to submit it to All Florida to get the process going. Just simply hit the order title button, and that's going to take all the data that you've just keyed in and transfer it for you on the order form. So again, no heavy lifting there, no rekeying. All you have to do is punch in the buyer information and you're good to go. Hit order title, that's going to go right to Mark's office to get your transaction moving. So we wanted to highlight that. Again, super simple to use, less than 60 seconds, and it's a great tool for you guys to explore and take advantage of. Anything else you want to add, Mark, to the net sheet?
Just how we've got positive feedback on this. I know agents that have used it, they're out at a house, their clients want to know an idea of what it costs, and just pull it right up and they can get it done for them that quickly. So it's been very beneficial for us to work together with the realtors and the realtors work with us on this. And the same goes for uploading the contract so we can get right to ordering title and getting the deal done quickly.
100%, 100%. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so definitely check that out. It's a great tool for you to get moving on the fly so that you can get those deals closed quicker. All right, so we're going to dive into our last tip, which is about getting your transaction moving. And what we mean by that is there's a great dynamic form on the All Florida Title Company website that allows you to do a couple of things. It's mobile friendly, so it's really easy to use on your iPhone, Android, your tablets, and you have the ability also to upload documents on that form and include links. Like if you use Dropbox a lot, or you have a lot of PDFs, you can include links on that. And we'll show you really quickly what we mean with this example. So when you go to the All Florida Title Company website, you'll see there's buttons everywhere that have the order title feature. So from there, what you can do once you get to the page is simply scroll down, type in the information you see there with the asterisk, and then you'll be able to upload your contract straight away on that form. And again, if you have a PDF link or you have a Dropbox link, it gives you the ability to do that. This allows you, again, late evening orders, over the weekend orders, even during the day, right from your phone or tablet, on a lunch break or whatnot. You can get your transaction moving very, very quickly. This goes right to the All Florida Title Company's order entry department and get your transaction moving in warp speed. I don't know if you want to add anything else to that, Mark, on the order side.
Just pretty much the same as with the app. It's a great tool that we have. Anybody has any questions about how to work with it or what they need to do as far as getting the contracts to us, give me a call, email, and we can talk about it. But this is definitely a much more efficient way to get us an order for a file to get things going right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, I'm going to go ahead now and sort of recap what we've talked about so that we can kind of sum it up. We kicked things off with a handful of time savers. We all met Amy, and she's the AI or artificial intelligence tool to help schedule meetings. So again, if you're heavy on meeting setting, whether it's with new or existing buyers or sellers, or really any kind of meetings, you can leverage Amy or Alex at x.ai. Great way to streamline that process to save you time. We also just touched on the instant net sheets, which are part of the free mobile app that comes with All Florida Title Company, and it allows you to get those numbers in less than 60 seconds in really impressive formats to make you look like a hero in front of your client and get that deal closed. And then we touched on ordering title work on the fly with the online order form. You have the ability to upload the contract right there on the spot, and that goes right to the order entry department at All Florida Title Company, so you can get your transaction quickly moving. We then touched on a few great ROI techniques for social media. We touched on Canva.com, which was the graphics made easy. So again, you can definitely leverage that for social media, but it also has some multi-purpose use, whether you're doing logos, flyers. Again, we talked about creating those little cards with your social handles. So lots of great, unique ways to use that. You don't need to be a graphic design genius, whether you're a stick figure level like myself or you have some experience. It's a great tool for you. And then we touched on the best darn Facebook post period, which is really a golden nugget to really boost organic engagement within Facebook, and it's free. It's just the ask. So remember to ask the client, on your next closing, if it's okay to take a picture of that moment in time for them with their phone, and then hand them your social handles, ask them to post that when they go to post that picture, to just tag you in it. And now you get all that exposure to their network. It trends forever, and you're able to benefit from that as time moves on. So with that, Mark, I'm going to hand it back to you. Hope all that was helpful.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. I look forward to working with all the realtors in the area. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Okay, thanks everybody.